What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Anybody Can Cook, the show where we prove to you that just because you're not a professional chef does not mean that you cannot make some awesome food. My name is Evan.
My name is Joe.
And today we made some Parmesan shelled spaghetti tacos.
Yep, and special shout out to Taste Made for giving us this crazy idea.
Yes. Alright, let's show you how it's done. Alright, so we finished making the dish. Joe, how do we go about it?
We're going to start out with making the pasta itself. So we use angel hair. Get your pot nice and hot, get that water flowing, and throw your angel hair pasta in there. Crack it in half, throw it in there. Let it boil for how many minutes?
10 minutes, but we used half of the box, and that was way too much pasta, so I'll probably use like a quarter of the box so you don't waste.
What's new? You're making more pasta than you need.
Yeah, too true.
So once that gets going, after the 10 minutes or whatever, where you think it's good, take some out, throw it against the wall. If it's good, it's good. If not, then you know how to fix your pasta.
That's right. Yeah. So once that is complete, you're on to the meatballs, my favorite part. So we got Italian, the spicy meatballs, the spicy sausage. We got the hot version of that.
Yep.
And what we did is we made the meatballs, we got the whole thing, we ground it up together, we added some extra spices, we added some garlic, we added some red pepper flakes, and we added some turmeric. All that into both the pasta sauce and the meat itself. Making little meatballs, put it on set the stove on, put it on nice and hot. Then you put a little butter down as the base, and then you put the meatballs on there, and you just let it cook in that.
Oh, it smells amazing.
It smells amazing. Just be sure to flip it often. Just so what you want to do is you want to have it at a high heat first, so just get each side's charred, and then you want to lower it down so that so it cooks all the way through the meatballs. That took about 10 minutes as well for the whole process to be done. Lastly, after that is done, the two easy parts are over. Next up comes the Parmesan cheese taco shells. So that was a bit of an adventure for both of us. The recipe we had made it sound way easier than it was. We'll get on that when we get into the next part. But just know that you have to preheat the pan, and you take the Parmesan cheese. We took about 1/3 of a cup in just cheese. You just put it onto the pan. Make sure you're fresh Parmesan cheese too. Then you roll that in to kind of spread it out into the shape of like a small circle. And once it starts to melt down and bubble, then you wait for it to turn brown a bit and give it a flip and make sure it's toasted on either side. And then the big part is you want to touch on the positioning of it.
Right. So as soon as you're done with both sides of that taco shell on your pan, scoop it out, and it's gonna be hot, so be prepared for that. You want to bring it over. If you have a cookie, like a muffin baking sheet, flip that upside down and use the areas where those are sticking up, and there's that in between area is where you want to put your taco shell
and wedge it in there.
And you want to use your hands and kind of push it down in there to force it into that taco shape
while it's still hot, because once it solidifies, it's going to be that same shape forever. So.
Right. You don't have a lot of time. I'm saying probably 10 seconds after it's out of the pan. So make sure you're on top of things.
Okay, so we finished talking about how it's made, and now we go over the 3 things that we go over every single time. The first one is the taste. So, Joseph, we have a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely disgusting, repulsive, 10 being amazing, the best thing you've ever had in your entire life. Where would you put this on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as the taste goes?
Now that I'm thinking about it, that's a very tough question considering what happened throughout the process of making this.
Yes.
Definitely did not turn out how we wanted it to. I'm gonna give this bad boy a 3 out of 10.
A 3 out of 10?
A 3 out of 10.
Okay.
I wasn't too impressed.
Yes, I'll agree with you for that same reason. I'll give it a 3 out of 10 as well. The Parmesan cheese part ruined the whole thing, and that was kind of the whole spiel behind it, right? Because it's Parmesan cheese tacos. So when you make the taco shell, it literally just tastes like you're eating like burnt cheese. And then the spaghetti was great. The meatballs are great. If those two things were in a vacuum, this would be a whole other thing, probably like a 7 or 8 on the taste scale. But because Parmesan cheese is in the mix, it literally killed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so part 2 is how easy this was to make. Once again, we're going on a sliding scale here. 1 is super easy, like pouring milk into cereal. 10 is ridiculously hard, like gourmet chef style endgame stuff. So Joe, where would you put this on a sliding scale of 1 to 10?
You know, this correlates perfectly with the taste. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was going to be super easy going into it.
Yes.
The ingredients were there, everything was super simple.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as we got to the end, making those shells, it was so difficult.
Yeah.
We went back and tried a couple times, almost ran out of Parmesan cheese.
Yes.
Like,
It was awful.
it was a bad experience.
Yes, yes. I 100% agree with the 7 out of 10. This, like, literally the whole thing was smooth sailing right up to the last part. And it took us almost a half hour to make the shells, which ended up being the worst part of the whole dish in the end. We burnt the first couple, it smelled god awful.
Nope.
The whole apartment, we had the fire alarm almost go off. It was quite the experience. Once again, if I was to do this again, I would just do this without the. I would just go buy regular tacos, tortillas, and make this dish, and it would be amazing.
Right.
All right, finally, we're going for the third thing. How much did it cost? The whole thing cost us $13.
Right.
So that's split in half. Extremely cheap. Stuff we didn't need. That we like the majority of it. We spent $6 on the Parmesan cheese.
Yeah. We ended up needing, unfortunately.
Desperately needed Parmesan cheese for this meal to work. But yeah. So Joe, what's your opinion? Scaling slide 1 to 10 as far as costs. Obviously, we're going to be around the same number since it was around $6 a person. So
Right.
yeah, so.
Okay, I would give it a solid 2.
Yes.
And 2 is a great number. For $6, basically, you can't beat the home cooked meal.
All right, so that was our show. We actually had a not so good experience for once. That's kind of cool. Stay tuned every single Friday for Anybody Can Cook. The show where we prove to you guys that just because we're not professional chefs doesn't mean we can't always make some bomb food.
Just because we cannot make Parmesan cheese shells does not mean we can't.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean you can't cook either.
That's exactly right.
It's just a shitty idea.
My name is Evan.
My name is Joe.
And we will see you guys the next Friday.
Later.
Peace.